wears a crown. Hi, I'm Debbie. Vybz Kartel's return to the scene, focusing discussion around the title King of the Dancehall. But does dancehall have only one king? And will dancehall fans ever agree on who that is?
King of Reggae, no contest. Bob Marley still ruling the roost 43 years after his untimely death, aged just 36. That other title, however, like dancehall itself, checked to the ebb and flow in taste of a genre known for its rapid turnover of topical toasters. Some, though, bucking trends and staying put in popular appeal. Talk lately in the media about the title King of the Dancehall, fueled largely by the return from prison of Vybz Kartel, among Jamaica's most highly rated and certainly controversial of DJs. Some already crowning the world boss, but what about other claimants to the throne? And with dancehall's current contraction on the world stage, does the title even matter anymore?
You must be able to perform. You must be able to hold an audience's attention. You must be able to whip up an audience and be able to communicate with them about their issues.
A lot of people qualify. A lot of people can whip up an audience.
No performance style. So somebody like a Beanie Man, self-styled King of the Dancehall. Nobody contested that because he had the goods to deliver on a stage.
None of them fussing in about life. None of them fussing in about life.
Cultural Studies lecturer Sonia Stanley Nair points back to Prince Buster.
Madness.
Later, King Yellowman staking his claim.
Zungo, zungo, go, zungo, zen.
Then, of course, Beanie Man in the 90s.
It's not a permanent title. And anybody who feels that they can keep that title permanently, I have news for you. Just like any other empire with any other king, kings don't last, empires fall. So the person has to be current. They have to be able to wield some influence in the space and be able to command that respect.
Who decides who is king of the dancehall?
What happens is that there's a time and a space for everything and everyone. And if it's your time, there's going to be consensus by the public. So who declares one a king? It has to come with some public scrutiny and public attention and public agreement.
So when people were saying Beanie Man is the dancehall king, Beanie Man can cut it on several levels.
Showmanship. Beanie Man, quintessentially known for showmanship. You know he's going to turn up in the right outfit and he's going to deliver the goods on stage.
So nobody contested that he was the king of the dancehall?
Nobody could contest that because nobody could go on a stage and be that king of the dancehall like Beanie Man could.
King of the dancehall is really something that is self-generated, and it really has very little significance to me as a marketing tool. I mean, you look at Buju Banton, he's not king of anything right now, and he's selling out major venues in the United States.
Media consultant Clyde McKenzie not particularly impressed by titles. Kartel the latest to be called the king. Who knows or cares, including even Kartel himself.
The fact is, he is the most prolific artist we have had in a very long time. Whether we want to call him a king as a result of that, or whether we want to call him prince or whatever, is immaterial. I think people gravitate towards him because of his productivity.
We bring the fire more degree than Dr. Bartigan.
Beanie Man in his time was very good, and he was outstanding internationally and locally. Yellow Man the same. But you know, kings come and kings go, if that's how we see it. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if it has any real significance in the marketplace.
Tell them so we bless, tell them we bless, tell them we bless.
Although Bob Marley, by general acceptance is the king of reggae, dancehall by its very nature throws up different kings over different decades?
Dancehall is more dynamic. Dancehall is more topical. Reggae tends to hang around for quite a while. So if you're a reggae artist, a Beresford Hammond, for example, you're around for quite a while. Buju Banton, you hang around for quite a while. Dancehall is something that is topical, it changes, it is of the streets. Not that what happens with reggae is not topical, but it tends to have a longer sweep. In terms of dancehall, it is usually about the here and now.
Everybody has their favorites. Where do you get to a point where somebody rises above the others and by general consensus, that person is the king?
So now we know that because of the incarceration of two major dancehall artists, there has been a space, a kind of, let's say, a space.
A vacuum created.
A vacuum created. Now, of course, the world boss has come out of, this penal colony, let's call it that. And he's now calling himself the king of the dancehall.
Is it only Cartel who is calling himself the king, or is there a consensus that he is right now the king of dancehall?
There are other people calling him king of the dancehall, so there is some degree of consensus. And I think that the things that go into the understanding of that is, while he was incarcerated, he was producing music. There was no vacuum in terms of his own productivity in the dancehall space. And I think people, even though they questioned that, understood that to be a certain degree of currency that he tried to maintain. And I love dancehall can't stall. That's what he said.
Dancehall can't start forever and ever. Dancehall can't start.
But Cartel Beanie Bounty Buju not in contention, given another measurement of dancehall greatness.
But I don't really care what people say.
Sean Paul's Dirty Rock, one of the biggest selling dancehall albums of all time, and the Platinum Prince, dancehall's biggest streamer.
There is going to be no Jamaican community that says Sean Paul is the king of the dancehall, and there are reasons for that. All the names that I called, Yellow Man, Beanie Man, these are people who consider themselves, including Cartel with the title of his book, Voice of the Jamaican People. I don't think at any point Sean Paul saw himself in that way.
Sean is unquestionably the most successful dancehall act we've ever had. But that is classified as international. I think when people talk about king of the dancehall, they tend to look more at what the domestic market is talking about. It's more what the streets is saying.
And you have to fit a different profile.
Well, you would tend to be more of the streets, the Jamaican streets, because they don't see him as dominating the domestic market.
Having left prison, he's back on the scene. Can Cartel lay claim to that title?
Well, in terms of longevity, he is certainly someone who one has to contend with. I mean, he was away for 14 years, and still he was able to maintain a presence. And it's not just nostalgia that is driving his appeal, right?
It's excitement also?
It's excitement and the fact that he's still current.
Can anybody else generate that level of excitement?
Nobody is perhaps generating that level of excitement at this point.
So to wrap it up, king of the dancehall to some extent is a dated concept.
Dancehall had a period, a golden era in the 90s when we had all of these stars, the emergence of Buju Banton and Beanie Man and Bounty Killer. And they have dominated for years. Are we going to see anything like that? I don't see that kind of prolific production going on. I don't see anybody stamping their mark on the business the way they have.
And standing up.
And standing up.
Put your choice on the line. Who is the current king of dancehall?
There is none.
After Beanie Man, there was a void, and the void has not been filled.
Beanie Man is even trying to retain that title.
But you don't believe it?
But there is no king of the dancehall right now. But I'm sure that if we go on a stage and we put Cartel, Beanie Man, Buju Banton, or Massacre, Skilly Bang, Valiant, Beanie Man is going to come out the king of the dancehall by virtue of his showmanship. However, I think the people of Jamaica want to see more out of Cartel and are looking forward to his show. And I hope he will deliver the goods on that stage.
Freedom Street billed as Vybz Kartel's crowning moment after a long and dismal fall from grace. Joe may have paid something like a royal ransom, but will fans deliver a reception worthy of a king?